Welcome to Wipers Country, here in Ghost Public Land Use Zone in Alberta. Let's talk the 10 essentials of hiking and how you might change them up for backpacking. When I break down the 10 essentials for hiking and backpacking, I break them into 3 groups. The first group is things I leave the house with every time, no matter what. The second category is emergency situations, a kit in case if something goes horribly wrong. The third category of items is things that you need in case you need to shelter in place. And that's where we really see a big difference between what you hike with and what you backpack with. That first category has 3 items in it. Things that you should have no matter what when you leave the house. The first one on that list is navigation. That's my phone primarily. I also have my GPS device, and quite often I'll take a map and a compass as well. The second thing on that list is going to be sun protection or wind protection. That breaks down to a hat, some sunglasses, more often than not chapstick. The third thing on that list is a knife. The knife that I carry is the Swiss Army Classic SD. It has a small blade on it, nail file, a small pair of scissors, a toothpick, and some tweezers. The second category is items that you should have in case of an emergency. That is a list of 3 very specific items. The first one is my first aid kit. The second thing in my emergency kit is my GPS device. The third is kind of specific to where I am. This is bear country. This is grizzly country and black bear country in the Rocky Mountains here. So no matter what, I always carry bear spray. The last category of items that you should be carrying is the things that are required if you need to shelter in place until help arrives, or you need to hunker down and wait out a storm, or if you need to stay put and maintain your own safety until help arrives. So that breaks into 6 specific items in that category. That rounds out the 10 essentials. The first one in that category is a light. For me, that's the Nightcore NU25. I carry that with me whether I'm hiking, whether I'm backpacking, it doesn't matter. That light for me is essential because if I need to stay out after dark, I need a light source. The other thing I always carry with me is a way to build a fire. My fire kit is not complicated. It is a mini Bic lighter, a pocket bellows, and a bunch of Tinder Quick fire starters. With twigs and branches and deadfall, I know that with these items, I can start a fire no matter what. The third thing on that list of things that you'll need when you need to shelter in place is going to be a little bit different depending on what trip you're going on or what you're doing. And that's where we get into extra. The concept of extra, more than you need. It's not necessarily bringing one more thing, but it's bringing something that is covering the requirements plus. So when we talk about extra clothes to bring on a hike, we're talking about maybe a fleece, maybe a puffy, right? And this will differ if you're backpacking because you're planning on being there overnight. So you might bring something to sleep in instead. You might bring some clean socks. So that concept of extra clothes is not necessarily bring more clothes. Bring clothes that have a higher capacity than you think you need. Continuing with the concept of extra, you're going to need to bring extra food. And it's not about bringing the whole kitchen, but it's about bringing more than you think you will need in case you need to stick around and shelter in place somewhere. For a hike, that could be as simple as this, right? Before today, I grabbed a granola bar, some trail mix, and some fruit snacks because I'm 5 years old. When you get into backpacking instead of a hike, you need to think about more than just one extra meal or one extra snack. You need to think about food preparation and food storage. So for food preparation, I usually bring my cook kit. Nothing complicated. It's a Pocket Rocket 2 with a Toke 750ml and and a gas canister with a long-handled spoon, right? And I'll bring whatever meals I need to bring, plus one extra meal in case I get stuck somewhere longer than I anticipated. The other thing I'll bring is my Ursack. Depending on where you are, you might need to bring a bear canister or use a bear hang instead. But most places that I go, the Ursack's good. The next thing on the list is going to be more water than you thought you would need. Now, if I'm going on a hike, I'll probably bring this. If I need to ration it and I'm stuck overnight or something like that, this can save my life. Now, if I'm planning to be out much longer than 6-7 hours and I'm planning to be somewhere overnight, I will bring this. This is, again, enough water to hold me for an hour or two, as well as the way to treat water. This is my Catadine Be Free, and if this fails, also in my first aid kit, I always carry some of those aqua tabs. Water is the thing that you need to have more of than you would think. The last thing on that list of 6 items that you'll need to shelter in place is the shelter, right? If you're hiking and you plan on being somewhere that's close, that has access, that you can be rescued from fairly quickly, it might be as simple as something like this, an emergency bivvy or an emergency foil blanket to keep you out of the elements and keep you sheltered and keep you safe. But if you're backpacking and you're planning on spending the night outside, this isn't enough. So what we do is we look at our shelter systems and our sleep systems. Now, I have another video on shelter systems, so go check that out. It's a horrible video, but it has all the right information if you're interested in it. The quality just is not very good because I don't know what I'm doing. Now, I'm going to do another video in the future on sleep systems, and that'll come out later.